Hello and welcome to another Cities Skylines 2 episode here on the Mole Under Management channel. My name is ChaosMole and today we are watching the Future Highlights episode number 10, the game progression. And I have to say, I don't really know what to expect here. Like, game progression in Cities Skylines was pretty simple, right? You had to reach a certain milestone, which meant you had to reach like a certain size of the city. Bam, new stuff is unlocked. And then rinse and repeat. That was progression. Nothing really special about it, nothing to write home about it, and it just was there, and nobody really asked questions. So I'm actually really curious to see how this works in Cities Skylines 2, and maybe what they have added new. And as per usual, we are reacting to this, we are watching this live, and then of course I would do a deep dive right after that. So let's get to it, shall we? Let's have a look.
City building is a journey led by your creativity and ambition.
Or the absence of creativity in my case.
Along the way reflects who you are. To help you build a city that's
That looks
true
so
to
great.
you, Cities Skylines 2 puts 20 milestones packed with rewards directly
Yeah, we
in
have
your
seen
path.
this before
When
a
you
little bit.
unlock a milestone, you're rewarded expansion
Okay,
permits.
it's still like in the first one.
Expansion permits allow you to quickly
Oh,
add new map
that's
tiles
new.
to your city. But this isn't just about real estate. Use expansion permits to release tiles with the specific attributes you need to see your plans through. Milestones also reward you with development points.
That's also new.
You need development points to add city services, the bedrock
Oh,
of a
shit.
functioning metropolis. But just adding them isn't enough. The needs of citizens will change as the city
Whoa.
expands, so you'll need to keep developing city services to keep pace. Your development points make it happen.
This is like a tech tree
The
now.
city services you choose to add, how you develop them, and just how advanced you make them all make a big impact on the character of your city. This is how it works. Each city service has a development tree. The nodes on the development tree are more and more advanced buildings that level up the city service in a specific way.
That's
As
crazy.
you unlock these nodes, that city service becomes more sophisticated and specialized.
Nice.
When you first
So an
add
upgrade
a city
path.
service, you're at the base of the development tree. So
Okay.
you get the basics. Like when you add the city service public transportation, you get buses and taxis.
Okay, that makes sense, yes.
Spend development points to unlock nodes further along the development tree. In this case, you might invest in
Choo-choo.
trains to move more people
I like
more
trains.
efficiently. Or you might go in a totally new direction by taking to the skies. It's all up to you. Remember, the further you go along a development tree, the more development points you'll need to cough up.
I wonder if you
And
can get
they
all
won't
of them.
exactly rain from the sky. You might not add a city service at all, or you might not develop it very much. Others, you'll take all the way. Once you add a city service and unlock nodes on its development tree using development points, it's time
Okay.
to open your wallet to actually pay for the construction of
My
city
wallet?
service buildings, building extensions, and operational upgrades.
I don't have money.
You need cash.
That's why I'm playing this game.
Don't worry, you can cover it with the monetary rewards you get when you unlock each
Oh, you're also
milestone.
getting money
By
through
now, you're
that.
probably asking, how do I unlock milestones? It's all about expansion points,
Oh.
or XP. You'll rack up XP passively and actively. Passive XP
Oh,
are
it's
awarded
not the
up to 15
size
times during
anymore.
each in-game day. They're awarded as your city's population and the happiness level of that population increases.
Okay.
That's why smooth-running cities that
Not
foster
only
the well-being of citizens
size.
make steady progress toward the next milestone. Active XP are doled out right when you make bold investments in your city.
That's
Watch them
amazing.
rack up when
That
you
changes
swap
a lot.
signature building
And we
or
will talk about
invest
that in a
core
minute.
Infrastructure like the city's road network. In Cities Skylines 2, milestone rewards empower you to
That's such a
unleash
great
your
improvement.
creativity and ambition on the path to building a city that
I love the
only
bridge.
you can.
Man, can I just say, it is still flabbergasting to me how this game, when you go from the first one and you go to the second, you think, let's be honest here, what will they change? Sure, some switcheroos here and there, some improvements here and there, but it would probably be like EA likes to release their Sims games. It would just be the same game without the expansions, and let's be real here, Paradox has also done something similar in the past, but I would have never, ever expected them to go this far with literally every gameplay aspect in Cities Skylines. And like you see it here, if somebody would have asked me, hey, what do you think about the progression system in Cities Skylines 1? My reaction would have been, I don't know, it works. It works, it's feasible. Like, the more people, the more you have buildings in your city, and the bigger you can make your city. Yeah, that makes sense, right? And that would have been my answer, and everyone would have been like, yeah, that's okay, but I'm not really thinking about it. I'm just going through it, I'm unlocking stuff, and that's it. Now, they have just taken this forgettable feature, words, this forgettable feature more or less, and just take it to the next level. Make it better, make it more coherent, make it more that you are actually actively interact with it, and it's not just a thing which you maybe use a few times in the back of the head, or you don't even use it, right? In the first one, it just happens. Oh, a new milestone unlocked. Oh, a new milestone unlocked. And then you're waiting for the next milestone and you don't think about it anymore, right? But this time, you get your XP, you have to do stuff for it, like quite a bit actually, and then you can actually use the points to get more size, which is definitely one of the new things, right? That you can just now, you have to get those milestones to make your city bigger. I like that, like how they do it, right? In the first one, you also needed milestones if you didn't like unlock that through cheats / the menu. But this time you can just choose the tiles you want, and you are getting like a certain amount of points, and it's not just, oh, you have a milestone reached. Okay, you can now unlock one tile, and then again, as I said before, you just forget about it till the next milestone approaches. So there is much more here where you just have more options, more details you didn't really have before. And I love that. Like, that is such an improvement. They're showing the milestones again, right? And then we have the tech tree. And again, I'm actually curious if you can get enough points to actually unlock all the milestones. So it's just a question of in which order do you want to unlock something? Or if the game is really saying, okay, listen up. You have 25 improvements. It would be more, but just saying, you have 25 improvements, but in total, you would just get 15 points. Those numbers are completely made up. So, will that happen? Do I have to make actual decisions what I want to get and what I don't want to get because I don't feel like this is important for my city? Or is this really just like, okay, at the beginning you are getting quite a bit of points and you put the points into something you think will be really useful for your city, and then later on you can still unlock everything. It would just take quite a while. Or again, do they limit you? And I'm kind of hoping it's the first one. It's like, it just slows down quite a bit, but you can still unlock everything in the city, because why wouldn't a city be able at some point to build a radio telescope, right? Like, I would find that a little bit weird, but that's personal preference. But I really love, like, even if they're going the path of, okay, this is like the first few things you unlock and this is the route you want to go. I love that so much. Like, this really makes you interact. Now, there's one little problem. Basic transportation services. Space Center and airport is not necessarily basic transportation. Oh, no, this is the basic transportation system. Sorry, the whole thing is called transportation. I'm a dingus. But this doesn't change what I want to say. Let's say I really want to build up the transportation in my city because I want to get as many cars off the street as possible. Of course, I would go with train, I would go with tram, and I would go with subway. I don't care for this. This is coming much, much later. Why would I immediately go for the international airport when I'm still struggling with most of my streets, most of my traffic, and like, it seems like there's some obvious choices here you really want to get early on, and then later on you decide to go for the big things like Space Center, right? Like, oh yeah, sure, my people are actually going with rockets to work. And you're not doing that. It's bullshit, right? So I wonder how obvious most of the choices will be in the end, right? Where you just say, okay, yeah, this makes sense. I mean, here you have a choice. Large parks, sports parks, and then it's the same thing later on, right? Let me see, do we have like another wonderful example? This one, right? Yeah. Like, not really a decision you have to make. If you're going for the college, you will probably get most of the other stuff. Now, do you need a large Hadron Collider immediately at the beginning when you build up a city? Probably not, right? So, yeah. It seems like a lot of the decisions are not necessarily like decisions. It's right, just which order you want to take. And then you were getting there at some point. But it's still, as I said, this is so much better with what they did in the first one, right? And I feel that this is such a better choice. I also love that they are now giving you money whenever you are leveling up your next milestone, which is fantastic. Love that. But you know what I love the most? I love that this is now an XP system. That this is not you need 10,000 people living in your city, 20,000 people living in your city, 50,000 people living in your city, and so on and so forth. You're not doing this anymore. And it's so much better because, again, this is something people have been contemplating a little bit since they have talked about more freedom in playing Cities Skylines and how you're building a city, what you want to focus on. And people have been pointing out to say, hey, okay, that's all cool, but in the end, I need a lot of people in my city so that I can unlock the milestones, right? Not anymore. That's not the case anymore. You can just try to go laser focused, maybe on industry. Maybe you want to be like an office city where not a lot of people are living, right? Like, you can now really focus on certain aspects of your city as long as they're giving you XP and slowly rank up the milestones. This gives you total freedom on what do you want to achieve? What do you want to go for? Like, this is actually one of the things not hated, but I wasn't a real fan of in the first one. I was always somebody who built something like this. Right, a lot of suburban areas, a lot of small houses. I was always going for that. But if you really wanted to get like the later on milestones, you had to build huge suburban areas, or you had to build, skyscrapers. You had to build high to get like all the people in. And I never really wanted to do that. I always felt like, that's not really what I want to make my city about. And I also didn't want to have like huge suburban areas, which are spanning over half the map, right? I also didn't want to do that. So what was the option for me? Well, the option was for me to unlock all the milestones. Was the option for me, right? Through like the cheat menu. But through normal gameplay means, I couldn't really achieve that because at some point, all the small houses were full and you didn't really have like a choice. You had to do one of the two things. And that they now just say, okay, we don't do this anymore. Just get the XP is amazing. I love that. This is fantastic. And I'm so happy that they are going for it. So, good job. But that was the progression system. We're at the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I love this improvement. This is a great improvement. This is amazing. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please don't forget to leave a like and also subscribe to the channel. Here on the Mole Under Management channel, we are focusing completely on strategy games. Everything which is strategy is happening here. Real-time strategy, city management, city building games, turn-based games, right? Like everything which is like somewhat strategy related, you find here on the Mole Under Management channel. And if that is your shtick, please leave a subscription. I would definitely appreciate that. And check out my other City Skyline 2 videos if you're on it. With that said, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.